Right, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. So, as you well know, we're going to introduce the iNavX app today, and then you will find out how to integrate the app with all the Digital Yacht products. So, me, I'm Nicolas. I work for Digital Yacht. We're a marine electronics manufacturer. As you can hear, I've got a very strong French accent, but we're a UK and US based company. And right here is Jim, and Jim works for iNavX, and I think he's going to start the webinar today.
Yes, indeed. I'm Jim Ferguson with iNavX Support. Thank you all for being here. All right. I'm going to stop my video just to make sure that that doesn't interfere with anything else that I'm doing. Let's just jump right into this. And oops. All right. So today's webinar is with iNavX and NavLink2 is how they interact. I'm Jim Ferguson, and you've already met Nicholas. And I wanted to thank Digital Yacht for doing this virtual show and the webinar that I have a chance to show off a little bit of iNavX to you guys.
All right,
and thank you to you for joining us. Certainly appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy what we're going to be doing today. These are the two products we'll be talking about today. iNavX, which is marine navigation software for your handheld device. It is currently it's available for iOS. So if you're your iPad, your iPhone, or your iPod Touch, and on the Apple App Store is the #1 in marine navigation category, with over 10,000 ratings with an average of 4.7. So that's pretty decent. And let me get back over here. So what we're going to be trying to cover today is I want to make sure that we have a clear understanding of how iNavX works with the NavLink2. And we're going to be focusing on the Digital Yacht NavLink2 NMEA 2000 to Wi-Fi gateway device and what that adds to iNavX. And Nicholas, as he mentioned before, will be sharing about some other project Digital Yacht products a little bit later on. Now, just to make sure that we're all kind of on the same page here, I'm gonna do a brief overview of iNavX and what it does just as a standalone app. We'll show the NavLink2 connection to the NMEA 2000 network on my boat. That's where I am right now. We'll demonstrate how to connect iNavX to the NavLink2, and then we'll look at some of the various ways that the NavLink2 adds to iNavX. One of those things will be to look at how it can show AIS targets, how you can view those, and also a brief demonstration of how to control your boat's autopilot using iNavX. Now, hopefully we get to all these things. If I run out of time, you can email or ask questions at the end. So looks like I missed something here. There's some additional resources that are available for some of the information that you might need in regard to this, what we're doing today. We have quite a few videos on our iNavX support YouTube channel, the iNavX.com support webpage, and of course you can always email me at support@iNavX.com. So let's take a look at iNavX. Now I'm going to share my entire screen here if I can, and what I've got here on the, at least in my view, is the it looks like my, no it didn't, okay. I've got a live iPad here, and just above it is a clear screen share of that same iPad. So I hope I'm not losing one iPad or another. If I do, I'll just show the live one. So first of all, let's go ahead and just open iNavX, and I'll just open it from here. Okay, it's trying to connect again. All right, I'm not gonna fight with my connections here. So here we have iNavX. Normally what you see at first when you open iNavX is a chart. Now I'm zooming by just pinching the screen. Let's see here. Let me see if I can. We really need to see both if we can. So give me just a second here to get that one back. There it is. All right. So you see, and here in the middle of the screen, that little blue triangle, that's where I'm located. That's called the position icon. I'm located at a marina in Galveston right now, the Moody Gardens Marina, which is in Offutt's Bayou. Now, I do have to see my, so we're going to, if we look at charts here, this is the chart view. Now, iNavX doesn't come with charts preloaded. All those charts have to be downloaded and stored locally. And the way that you do that is you would tap the charts item in the upper left-hand corner and select a chart. Now, there are, for those of you in the United States, this top section, NOAA, all of these are charts of essentially coastal waters, main waterways in the U.S., and they're available at no charge. You can purchase charts to add to it, and we have quite a number of chart publishers: Blue Latitude, CHS, Dalius Classing, Explorer chart books, and Navionics as well. Now, the instrument banner is this item right up here, and what its purpose is just to show you various instruments that are available for you to read. Like just by itself, you would see where you are, the latitude and the longitude, and any other things that the iPad itself can provide to you, which is primarily GPS and compass headings. If you don't want to see that, you can tap this little blue triangle and it goes away. But if you want to see if you can add more, there's an eye over here at the end of the instrument banner, and when we tap it, it brings up an instrument page that we can toggle them on or off depending on which we want. Now, there are lots of instruments that are supported by iNavX, but even if you toggle them on, they're not going to display any information if there's no information to be shown. So for example, if I were to toggle on true wind speed here at this point, or true wind direction, it's not going to appear in the instrument banner because I don't have any wind input at this point. So now there's also a lot of things that you would be managing the way that you do your chart using the chart settings, which is, let me come back here, the gear icon here in the upper right hand corner of the chart. And we'll be dealing with a few of these in a little bit, but this is where the chart settings are found. If you don't want the toolbar at the bottom or the instrument banner at the top, you can use these double triangles to right here to toggle full screen mode. You'll still have the instrument banner unless you turn that off. And then, well, my finger's not going in the right place. There it is. And then at the bottom, we have the toolbar, and in the toolbar, there's the chart view, which is what we're looking at right now, a waypoints page, a routes page, track page, instrument page, and more page. Now on the waypoints page, we'll see the list of all the waypoints that I have that I've created or imported into iNavX. On the routes page, there's the list of routes that I've created. You can record your track, meaning that you can keep a historical record of where you've been. The instruments page is just is in many ways an expanded version of the instrument banner. And then the more page, you can access various weather forecasts, so tides, their weather, grid files, and then there are other things here as well, a user guide and a way to contact us through the app. We've already done those. Now, this is the just a picture of the NavLink2. Now, it has to be connected to your NMEA 2000 network for it to work. That's what this particular device does. And here it is. I have not permanently mounted it. I do have it connected to the network, and you can see that the lights are going, the status light and the data in are going just fine. This was so simple to install. That was, first of all, one of my favorite things about it is that you just screw it right into your NMEA 2000 backbone. So if you don't have an NMEA 2000 network, then this is not the device for you, but this is how what it looked like on when I was connecting it to mine. Now, iNavX connects to the NavLink2 using a TCP/IP wireless connection. And to get that started, you first have to make sure that you're connected to the Wi-Fi connector, the Wi-Fi hotspot, or hotspot's the wrong word, the Wi-Fi network that is created by this device. And in this case, it's that Wi-Fi right there. It's not a personal.
I know it touch. He cut his personal hotspot.
iNavX, and this connection is made from the instruments page and the TCP/IP item in the upper left-hand corner. Now, there's more than one kind of device like this. They all have their own host number and host port. So I got a list of hosts, but right here, this is where you would enter the IP address for the Digital Yacht device, and the one that I'm showing here is the correct device, the correct IPS, and the port number is also correct for this device. And then finally, you'd just toggle the link on, and if you look here at the bottom, you'll see that I've got a stream of data coming through. Oh dear. Okay. Now, so let's go back here. This connection will this to do all the things that we said we wanted to do before. Now, if we come back first of all to chart view, one of the first things that we may notice is that there are more instruments in the instrument banner. One in particular, one that I toggled on a minute ago, which is true wind speed. When you tap the instrument in the instrument item in the instrument banner, it shows an item, a graphic or digital item, depending on how you have it set. And all these are all wind items here, so they're showing the same thing. And the instrument selection is the same, but there would be possibly more instruments that will show up because they now have some data. If we were going, we'd see what our course over ground speed was. Now, what I need to do, what I'd like to do next is let's take a look at viewing some AIS targets. It's one of the instruments here that now appears is this TCT on the end, and TCT is, oops, I didn't hit TCT. TCT is, that number is climbing, is called target count. See if I can get it here. There it is. These are all AIS targets that are within range of my AIS transponder on my boat here. And if we, but one of the things that you may notice is that we don't see any AIS targets on the chart. That's because there's a chart setting that we have to go to turn them on. So I've tapped the gear icon in the upper right-hand corner of chart view, and I'm looking for show AIS, and setting done, I'm going to change that to all. The next AIS is either to show class B or all of them. I will also select all on that. And then there's a switch to toggle whether to display the names or not. So let's go back and see what this all looks like. Now, I told you I was in Galveston area. This is one of the busiest, certainly probably the busiest port on the Gulf Coast of the United States. Right now it's, the list is climbing as more and more are picked up by AIS transponder. And you can see there's all kinds of them. There's one that's very close to me. It's called the Colonel, and it's just a tourist attraction boat that takes people from Moody Gardens around off its bayou. Across the bayou here from us, there is another marina, and these boats in this area right here are all pleasure boats. They're all Class B AIS targets. Now, if we look up here, we'll see some other AIS targets. This line sitting out in front of it here is the velocity vector, and I think I currently have that set to 10 minutes. So that's approximately shows how far that boat is going to be 10 minutes from now. So now let's just say we're traveling along and we have an AIS target. We can get more information about him by just tapping on it like I did a minute ago and scroll through some of that information about that may be pertinent to us. For example, range, he's about 1/4 of a nautical mile from me. Bearing is 270 degrees. Magnetic. His speed over ground is 0. He's just tied up over there right now. Now, it does say he has a course over ground. I don't know if that actually means anything when you're not moving. But now, if you use this little magnifying glass up there, it'll turn the Colonel red so you can keep an eye on him better. Now then, it was really kind of impractical for me to demonstrate how to control the autopilot with this because really impractical is not the best word. Unsafe is the best word. But I did take some video the other day, and let me see if I can show this. Let's see what I'm sharing here. This video. We're in a different marina, and at this point, I'm just kind of puttering around. What we have here, this is a waypoint here with a dotted blue line. That dotted blue line indicates that this is a route that I created from this waypoint to at least one other waypoint. And as I move through here, I'm going to initiate a go-to by opening the routes page. You can see I had tapped routes in the toolbar here. I had selected, let's see if I only had one route at the time, so I selected the route there, and it opened up the page for that route. I tapped go to, and it activated the first waypoint. You can tell that it's activated because it's got a red dot and a little circle around it now. So I'm going along, and the next waypoint has just been activated. I'm going to scroll this over just a little bit because one of the things about using iNavX to control the autopilot is the autopilot's got to cooperate with you. So starting at about here, the I don't know if the audio for this video is coming through as well, but here I'm just motoring along. The iPad sitting on top of my radio there is just to the right of my autopilot, and as I cross the arrival distance, it prompts me to confirm on my autopilot that I want to go to that waypoint. It's a feature of Raymarine autopilots. I'm not sure all autopilots do the same thing, but in some way or another, iNavX is going to tell the autopilot that it's got another waypoint it wants it to go to, and as we cross to the next one, it's a more distinct change, and I okay that when it prompts me, and it turns the boat and keeps going. Now, let me. It's also this, there we are. Now, this one, I'm coming out of that same marina that I was in. It's actually on my way over here. And as I'm coming out, you may not see it down there, but there, just right down here is an AIS target. And his name is Terry H. He's there pretty close to the top. And when I tap Terry H there, it showed where he was, showed several things about him, where he was going, and important feature here for people who are using AIS is CPA, TCPA, and BCPA. CPA is close point of approach. So my closest point of approach to him was going to be about a quarter of a nautical mile. The time for that closest point of approach was minutes from them, and that bearing was going to be where it says it was. I need to scoot on here. I'm having trouble with my internet connection. So as we come around, there he is. Just as I make that turn, there goes Terry H right in front of me, and later on I follow him out. So one of the things that I've really found to be fantastic about using AIS is that, let's see here, is that when I'm going along in the intracoastal waterway here on the Gulf Coast, I find that I can call the towboat drivers on the radio and negotiate passage with them. It's just makes things a lot safer. Plus, they can see me. That's particularly important when they're driving something 20 times as long as I am, and 100 times as heavy. And I want to make sure that I don't run into them and they don't run into. Okay, so I think I've used them as I have to use of iNavX, how it connects to the NavLink2, and just a quick overview of instruments and a little bit more time on AIS and Autopilot that are made possible by this connection with the NavLink2. So with that, I'm going to turn this back over to Nicholas and let him share what he has to share with us.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. But can you put back your slides, if you don't mind? We can't see your slides.
Sure. Yes. Okay, let me, yeah, hold on just a second. Let me find the share screen again. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, it's fine.
Okay. Did my slides go, did anything go, everything went away, huh?
And
okay.
for Chuck and Richard, we have received the questions. We're going to reply to your questions in a few seconds. Yeah, so now how it works with NavLink2. So NavLink2, as Jim explained, is an NMEA 2000 to Wi-Fi products. There's a few NMEA 2000 Wi-Fi server at the moment on the market, but our one is provided with an NMEA 2000 drop cable. It's secure, it creates a secure Wi-Fi network. You can merge with any existing Wi-Fi network on board, from like a 4G router, or if you have a Furuno radar with built-in Wi-Fi. So they're very easy products to install, just it's a plug and play products. And if you need to, it takes all the products, all the data connected on your NMEA 2000, it is bidirectional. So it will, as he says, Jim, you can manage your autopilot thanks to that NavLink2. But if you don't have any NMEA 2000 on board, we have some other products, some other NMEA to Wi-Fi, including some NMEA 0183 to Wi-Fi server. And so we have another product called WLN30. It is an NMEA 0183 to Wi-Fi server with multiple NMEA 0183 input and output. So you can connect your IS, sensors, etc. to the product, and it will transmit all the data over the Wi-Fi. And then, however, if you don't have any IS on board, we also have a range of IS products with built-in Wi-Fi. So the most popular products from Digital Yacht is the IIT 5000, is the IS transponder, which means it transmits and receives all the IS. It has a built-in zero-loss VHF splitter. So you will use your main VHF antenna for both your VHF radio and your IS transponder. Then all the NMEA interfaces, and finally the Wi-Fi. So if you don't have any IS or NMEA to Wi-Fi server, you can directly go with the IIT 5000. So you will receive all the IS targets and transmit directly all the targets onto iNavX. But at the same time, you can connect all your other sensors onto the NMEA input of the IIT 5000. And it will transmit over all the data onto iNavX. So depth, speed, wind, or manage autopilot, everything you want to, you can do it with the IIT 5000. So all the products we have from Digital Yacht. And at the moment, we are launching a virtual show, which you can see on digitalyachtamerica.com or digitalyacht.co.uk. And you can find out more about all our products, NMEA to Wi-Fi, sensor, we do GPS with Galileo, etc. And we receive, Jim, we have received a question from Chuck. He's asking you if you can receive, if NavLink2 will work with the Android versions of iNavX. You're mute, you have mute your microphone.
Thank you. Actually, iNavX for Android, that is a feature that is planned for a future version, but the current version does not support connection to NMEA devices, unfortunately.
Is anyone have some questions? Yeah, Chuck, if you have any questions? Yeah, go for it. You can talk if you want.
Yeah, I have a question on Wi-Fi interference. As Wi-Fi sources like this proliferate in marinas, do we have, or are we gonna have more interference problems between networks that are so close together?
Yeah, it's actually possible to get some interference, and that's why with all our products, it's protected by password. So when you have a password protected Wi-Fi network on board, you barely have any interferences. You can get some interferences when it is an open Wi-Fi network, like if you have to connect to the marina, and those old NMEA to Wi-Fi server don't have any password. But now all our products are password protected, so you can't have any interferences.
Okay, thank you.
That's all right. Anybody else has questions? Well, I guess that's it then. Jim, any questions for you? Or is that all fine for you? Well, then if nobody has a question, then thanks everybody for joining us. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact us directly. Yeah, thanks, Christopher. You can contact us through Digital Yacht website, and we will reply to all the questions. You can find out more about our NMEA to Wi-Fi or all our IS transponder with built-in Wi-Fi on digitalyachtamerica.com. All right, thanks for everything. And thanks to you, Jim.
Well, thank you. Appreciate you giving me this opportunity to present iNavX.
My pleasure. And we will post that webinar afterwards on YouTube. So for those who want to find out more or watch again that video, it will be available. And Joao, for your questions, which is just seen for Vincent, you can contact us directly on Digital Yacht website, and we'll give you all the information. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for everything, and I wish you a good day.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.